An East Yorkshire farmer has said that Brexit represents a wonderful opportunity to fill supermarkets with British food and invest in homegrown production. But it depends on the availability of labour, and much of the seasonal labour the industry relies on comes from EU migrants. Our Rural Affairs correspondent Lindsay Smith has been looking into this as part of the BBC's Farming Week. She's in East Yorkshire at the moment. What have farmers been saying then?
Well, that depends entirely which farmer that you speak to, because in farming, like in any profession, Brexit divides opinion. Here in East Yorkshire, you don't have to go very far to see a farming or horticulture business. On this side of the road, you've got the greenhouses growing homegrown salads, cucumbers, tomatoes, and just across the road you have a garden centre, and they typically import lots of products. Both will be affected very differently, but it's fair to say not everyone was pessimistic. We spoke to one strawberry grower, as you said, who's looking forward for the chance to beat Morocco and Holland in strawberry sales.
Potted, planted and later to be pruned. These strawberry plants will bear fruit at the end of October, the exact time the UK is due to leave the EU. And according to their growers, they represent a wonderful opportunity.
British supermarkets will actually start looking for more British produce. And it's going to be easier to sell our produce. If we see an import tax, I think that was going to have a direct effect on the demand for British fruit.
Angel's only worry is when his greenhouses turn from this to this, who'll be here to pick and pack the fruit? Most of his workers are EU migrants.
What if next springtime we need 30 or 40 of them? It's going to be even harder to find them. So yes, we might have the market for our produce, but are we going to be able to produce the strawberries?
It's estimated that 80,000 seasonal workers are needed every year to harvest British fruit, vegetables and flower crops. Most are EU migrants. Following Brexit, a government scheme is allowing 2,500 seasonal permits for EU migrants. That's a shortfall of 77,500 seasonal staff in horticulture alone, without considering those needed in the poultry sector, meat packaging, or even vets in slaughterhouses. Guy Poskett has similar worries about staff. He says shortages may force him to stop growing some vegetables altogether.
Ironically, the day we're supposed to Brexit is Halloween. So pumpkins is a business that we've developed over the last few years, and it's very, very seasonal. Today, the total workforce on pumpkins is 0. 6 weeks today, it'll be 70 people. So it's very seasonal and wants a lot of people for a short period. That's a classic place where will we bother with pumpkins next year? And that will possibly one that goes out the window if we're short of labour.
For others, our departure can't come soon enough. Andrew Johnson has already lost a major customer in Germany because he couldn't guarantee deliveries through Brexit.
We have to look, not just beyond Brexit, but also look at the world and food production. And I think that we have to, take on board new technology and new ideas and prepare ourselves for the next food revolution, and carrying on saying, we're going to have to find, other sources of labour, I just think is a short-term solution to a long-term problem.
3 growers, all waiting for certainty, waiting for the 31st of October, waiting for Brexit.
Well, all of the farmers that I have spoken to recently, not all farmers, but all of the ones that I've spoken to, said that now they just want closure, because uncertainty is rarely good for business. But don't be mistaken, they're not looking forward to the 31st of October like they're looking forward to Christmas, more like a trip to the dentist, so they can stop thinking about it and deal with the pain.
Lindsay, thank you very much indeed. And for watching, the time is 7:15 this Wednesday night. Thanks for being there. Still ahead.